Good evening. I'm Cadet Menser. I'm the Standardization Officer this fall. I'm a senior at UK, and today I'm going to be going over standards and customs and courtesies. Let's hop right in. Quick overview. We're going to be talking about some miscellaneous standards that weren't mentioned in the previous two videos. We're going to be talking about UOD for the incoming cadets and customs and courtesy. A lot of the standards that we've been talking about have been from the AFI 36-2903 Chapter 3. If you have any questions about anything that we're doing in the video, you can reference that document, type it into Google, it'll be a PDF, or you can ask Cadre, or you can ask another cadet. They would be happy to point you in the right direction or assist you in any problems that you have. So some miscellaneous standards. Nail polish / cosmetics, not authorized for males. While they are authorized for females in a limited capacity, they are not authorized for males in any capacity. Tattoos, not visible above the collar, not obscene or hateful. Above the collar just means above this collar and above your sleeve collar. When you're wearing uniform, you can't see them. That's really it. Tattoos, it also goes for brands or body markings or anything like that. If you already have one of those things that is visible outside of the uniform, just tell Cadre about it beforehand and they can write a memorandum for it and get it approved. Body alterations are mostly prohibited up to commander's discretion. Body alterations would be like the tongue splitting or adding lumps underneath your skin, anything like that. For the most part, they're all prohibited, but they are all up to the commander. So if you want to have something done or you have to have something done, you can get it cleared. Check the AFI for more details on that. Also, if you have something already, go ahead and tell Cadre about it beforehand, and they will write a memo for it if it can be cleared, and dependent on the reason. Ornamentation prohibited while in uniform. This means earrings, nose rings, tongue rings, anything like that. You can have it as long as it's not a body alteration, but you just can't wear it while in uniform. The exception is the female earring. So let's go right over to UOD, business casual. UOD is uniform of the day, and for 100s, and which is the incoming cadets, that will be business casual. It will consist of a polo shirt, khaki pants, long pants, a belt, and a black jacket when the weather depends. You're also going to be wearing business casual shoes of your choice. They can be any color as long as they are conservative in nature. A black backpack must be worn, or a backpack has to be black if you have one. In the picture I have here, there's a symbol on it where it says Jan Sport. That's all right. The logo can be there, and it can be a different color. It can be not black and not white. That's completely fine as long as there's no outstanding patterns or like glossy finish across the whole thing. Most patterns are okay. My backpack has a little bit of blue on it. These are both worn during lead lab and AFS class. On lead lab, they'll be worn all day, and during lead lab AFS class, they're just worn to class. And they are treated as a uniform. If you can treat your business casual well as a uniform, then that means you can treat your OCPs as a uniform. You proved to us that you can move on to an official, well, they are an official, a different military uniform. Let's go onward. Also, if you have any questions about business casual, just ask another cadet. Up next, customs and courtesies. So, it is custom to greet those who outrank you while in uniform, i.e. Cadre, POC, or any other uniformed members, uniformed military members. POC should be greeted when either party, you or them, is in uniform, and Cadre should be greeted always, regardless of uniform. This just means when you see a POC, inside or outside, you greet them. We're going to go over what greetings are in a moment. When it is required when one of them's in uniform. So if I'm wearing a uniform and you're not, you'd greet me. If you're wearing uniform and I'm not, you'd greet me. It's the same deal when one party's in uniform. Now with Cadre, regardless of uniform, you have it, they don't have it, neither of you have it, doesn't matter. You do an official greeting. And any other uniformed military member that you see on campus while in uniform. Now, What is a greeting? A greeting is simply a good afternoon, a good evening, or a good morning, sir/ma'am, or rank/name. So an example would be saying, good morning, Major Philibom. It's probably going to be one you're going to say a lot. And the morning, afternoon, evening are just split up in time. Since we can see from 0 to 11:59 is good morning. From 1200 to 1659 is good afternoon. From 1700 to 2359 is good evening. Now, salutes go with a greeting if you are outside and covers are being worn. So majority of the time, I would almost say every time you're outside, you're going to be wearing your cover, which is the hat. And when you're wearing your cover, you're saluting. So if you're walking inside and you see Major Philibom, you're not going to salute. You're going to just say good morning, or good, whatever the greeting is. Good morning, Major Philibom. And she'll say good morning, Cadet, insert name, and walk right past you. If you're outside, that is going to be accompanied by a salute. And that goes for POC, which are juniors and seniors, and officers, but not enlisted members. So you still greet enlisted members outside, so our NCOs that we have at our attachment. You greet them while they're outside, but you do not salute them. You only salute the POC and the officers. Now, saluting is required only when both parties are in uniform. So greetings happen dependent on one or two. If you see Major Philibom and she's not in uniform, you don't salute her. If you're not in uniform and you see Major Philibom in uniform, you don't salute her. You always greet her, but if you're both in uniform, there comes the salute. Moving on. So these are some ranks we have up on the top. We have or I should say all the big, large rectangular ranks. Those are cadet ranks for blues. There's an example of Air Force blues on the left. As you can see, the cadet on the left is wearing cadet third class ranks, the 2 slashes across his shoulder. That means he's a 200. As 100, you will wear the single slash. All the POC have the sharp white bars across their ranks on their shoulder when in blues. At the very bottom, you see hard ranks for POC and GMC. Hard ranks being worn on OCPs, which is the uniform that you can see on the right, also the uniform I'm wearing. Here's an example of a POC rank. As you can see there, that's a cadet second lieutenant. So if you're walking around, you're in uniform, business casual, and you see someone wearing a uniform, if they're wearing a black square of any black square kind, that's a salute, because a black square means a POC. On the left, you can see there are the triangular pieces. Those are 100 and 200, or cadet fourth class and cadet third class respectively ranks. So that'll be what GMC 100s and 200s wear, freshmen and sophomores. If you see a cadet in a flight suit, he's a POC. You go ahead and greet him / salute him if you are both in uniform. Example of flight suits. Now up next we have just Air Force ranks. On the bottom there's officers, on the top there's enlisted. It's good to know these. I'm not going to go through all of them. Learn them in the interim before the semester starts. You will see the officer ranks and you will see some of the enlisted ranks. Obviously you won't see all the officer ranks, but you'll get pretty familiar with captain through lieutenant colonel. You'll see those a lot, and sometimes you see some of the higher and some of the lower ones, as well as it's good to know all the enlisted ranks so you know who you're talking to. You know how to address someone properly. Now, professionalism. Cadets should maintain professional relationships with each other while in uniform at ROTC events. That means sorry, I'm shaking the camera. That means if you are in a uniform and here comes your friend and he's also in a uniform, you're not acting goofy. You are representing the Air Force while in uniform. So you're acting professional while in uniform and at ROTC events. Excuse me. You're an ambassador for the Air Force, for ROTC, and also the United States Air Force. Be a leader always. Be a leader always is one of my favorite things to say. It helps me make better decisions. I suggest you write it down, put it on your desk. Be a leader always. You are a leader always. You are the representation for other people on campus of the Air Force. So if you're acting in an inappropriate way, then those people are going to think, oh, that's how these cadets act. I guess that's how the whole military acts, and it's going to lessen the view. So you don't represent yourself in uniform. You represent the others who have worn it in the Constitution of the United States. Now, take pride in your appearance while in uniform, business casual included. It goes back to me saying, if you can't wear business casual well, you can't wear other uniforms well. So take pride in it. It is a uniform. And respect is non-optional, both ways. That means up and down. If someone above you is not treating you with respect, that needs to be addressed. And if you are not treating someone above you or someone below you or someone left and right with respect, then that's wrong. Respect the other people. It's that simple. Respect cadre, respect the other cadets at ROTC events and away from ROTC events. So, an overview of what we talked about. We went over the miscellaneous standardization that we hadn't covered previously. We talked about the uniform of the day being business casual, and we went over some customs and courtesies to close it out. Again, go to the AFI 36-2903 if you have lots of questions about these things, and I hope you guys are getting excited about this semester, and I can't wait to see you grow. I can't wait to meet you all. It's going to be awesome. If you have any questions, ask the cadets around you. Ask cadre, they'll point you in the right way. All right, have a good day.